Hello, this is Faith and Books. How are you doing? This is going to be my February TBR. It's a very ambitious TBR, and I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a little bit, we'll see how it pans out. Right now it's at the end of January. I think we have a couple more days, or more than that, several more days. And I am still reading Middlemarch. I was a buddy read with Linda Jo Martin, and I have this much left to read. And then I'm also reading right now Prester John by John Buchan for the Faded Pages Book Club. That's in the car because I keep it with me to read when I'm waiting for kids, when I'm picking up kids and I have to sit in line. Anyway, so I even wrote notes so that I could get this down quickly. All right, so I'm going to do the physical books first for February. So of course, and a lot of these are associated with reading events. So my own reading event is the Hornblower read-along, which I've talked about many times before, and we're reading one a month, and the one for February is Lieutenant Hornblower. This is one of the original copies from my father. I don't know how original it was. I don't know when he got them. They sat on the shelf for a long time, but this was his. So I'm excited about that. I'm very much enjoyed the first book, and I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with this one. These are all rereads. And I'm even planning out in my calendar. So I'm reading this physical book February 1st through the 6th. So that's when this is slated to be read. And then February 7th through the 10th, there is the Laura Ingalls Wilder reading event. And that is put out by, or it's originated with Lizzie Fay Reads, I believe. I will link below. And the reason why it's February 7th through 10th is Laura Ingalls Wilder was born on February 7th, 1867, I think. And then I forgot to look up when she died, but it was February 10th, many, many decades later. And so this year they're doing the long winter. And I happen to have a vintage copy that my husband gave me. I've been showing it before. And these are the illustrators before the Garth Williams illustrations, before that edition, which I think came out in the 60s. So this came out earlier. When did it come out? Do I know? I think I've looked this up several times. 1940. So yeah, and it's signed by one of the illustrators right there. And there's a little sketch of a lamp. You see that? And then of course you can see the lamp. This cover is coming off. You can see the lamp in the front. Ooh, almost ripped that. Careful. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm pretty sure I could read it from February 7th through 10th. I've read it many times before. It's my favorite one. So I'm looking for that. And this also fulfills the Kate Howe's Whimsical Winter, one of those prompts. It's a chapter book, a children's chapter book. So, yeah, so that's the second planned read. And then after that, I'm going to dip into Wordsworth. I'm going to make that weekend after the 10th. I think the 10th is a Thursday. I'm going to read this. And this is a book that my sister Paula gave me. And it was a long time ago when I was probably in my very early teens. And see this book plate? This book plate was something that my grandmother gave me one Christmas. And I know I have these really old books that I put these plates in. It was such a good gift. I really enjoyed, over the years, I've really enjoyed those. Anyway, my sister gave me this beautiful little book. I couldn't find it before, but I found it. And I used to love Wordsworth, but I have not read him in ages and ages. So I'm looking forward to spending a weekend reacquainting myself with Wordsworth. So in February, and that's a Febregency prompt to read a Regency poet, and Wordsworth is going to be my poet. All right, so those are physical books. Oh, the other physical book is going to be Evelina, but I ordered it. I think I ordered it used and hasn't come in yet. So it should come in before February 1st, but whenever it comes in, if it doesn't come in by then, whenever it comes in, I'll start reading it. And so those are going to be books, and I'm going to be, I'm calling them in real life books. But those are the books I'll be reading in February for various reading events. And then I've decided for my audio, I'm doing a buddy read with Janelle of Too Fond of Books. And we are going to read this book, The Little Minister by J.M. Barrie. This is an old copy that belonged to my parents or grandparents. I don't even know. She has an old copy too, but it's nicer than my copy. She's got a nice inscription in it, and it's got a decorated cover and everything. This is not so nice. I'm a little scared to read from it. I read it before. This is another reread many, many years ago, and I did read it from this book. But I'm a little bit nervous about trying that again. So I was trying to decide whether I should read it on my Kindle or audio. And the audiobook is read by somebody with the most beautiful, not Irish, Scottish, this is set in Scotland, brogue. So I think I'm going to listen to the audio and then keep up with it using this. I think that'll be really good. So that's how I'm going to do it, Janelle, if you happen to see this. So we're reading that from February 1st to February 21st. So we're giving ourselves 3 weeks for that. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a hot flash. I'm gonna take my sweater off. Okay, and then the last thing is the only one that I'm not that enthusiastic about. It's the Heir of Redclyffe. This is the Victorian book club by Kate Howe, run by Kate Howe. And I have not participated in the last couple of read-alongs just because I've been overwhelmed with my own reading. So this was the pick for, I guess, January and February, I guess, or is it? Yeah, I think that must be it. Now, I tried to read the Heir of Redclyffe many years ago. It says on my Kindle I got 28% in, and I DNF'd it. It was as I recall, it was a little bit saccharine, and it was kind of stiff, and I just couldn't get interested in it. Maybe it was just the mood I was in. So I'm going to try it again, but I'm not going to force myself, although I really do want to start participating again in the Victorian Book Club. But this might not be the book that will get me back into it. But maybe I'll read it and be pleasantly surprised. But I've got that on my Kindle already, so that's going to be my Kindle read for February. And then as soon as I finish that, or if I DNF it like I did before, I really want to start reading my Historathon book, which I bought and downloaded, and I actually started reading it. I'm only 4% in, but can you see that? It's Kindred, Neanderthal, Life, Love, Death, and Art by Wraggs Sykes. And I think it's going to be fascinating, and I think I'm going to enjoy it because I've been reading so much Victorian literature that reading a nonfiction, I think, will be refreshing. I'm really interested in the topic. And so that's for Historathon. I'll link to an announcement video for that too. I'll link all the reading challenges that I'm involved in, I'll link below. So the 2 Kindle books are Heir of Redclyffe. When I'm finished with that, I'll start with the other, with Kindred. And then let's see. Oh, okay. Then Ash Wednesday is February 22nd, which is why I asked Janelle if we could stop reading The Little Minister February 21st, because I want to read 2 books. Oh, and I forgot to bring one. Oh, well, I'll have a separate announcement video. But I'm going to be reading The Cloud of Unknowing by an anonymous writer from Middle English, which I happened to show up in one of my book tours. And Christy Lewis at Dostoevsky in Space saw that. And she and some others, Emma the Bookish Princess, can you hear that? That's my beagle baying at somebody walking or something, or sees a fox or something. Oh, please be quiet. We have neighbors that complain. Anyway, let me do this real quick. So where was I? Oh yeah, so The Cloud of Unknowing. I'll do a separate announcement though, because I got invited to be a co-host for that. So that's going to be a Lent read. So that starts February 2nd, which is Ash Wednesday, and goes through till Easter, which is April something this year, April 11th or something like that. So that's so we'll have a time to read that. And then the other thing, and I'm inviting people or just could be just one person, to buddy read Ben-Hur with me. I have been wanting to read that book for so long. In the house where I grew up, it was in the guest bedroom where my grandmother would come almost every single weekend to stay with us. And I remember it was in her bookshelf, and I remember picking it up as a child and reading little bits of it because I knew the movie. But I really have been wanting for ages and ages to actually read the whole book. It seemed too hard when I was a kid, but I think I'm up for it now. So I would really like to read Ben-Hur. And if anybody wants to buddy read Ben-Hur with me for Lent, so we've got 40 days plus the Sundays, then, tell me, let me know. And we can, work it out. We can plan to read it together because I'm really interested in reading that book. And let's see. And the very last thing that I want to talk about for February is my Febregency party that I'm planning. It's just a family party. I invited my married children and my youngest son's girlfriend. And we're just going to have a party where I'm going to light candles, and we're going to play the pianoforte and sing, and we're going to play whist. And I found this cookbook that my husband gave me a few Christmases ago. In fact, this mug that I've been drinking coffee from, he also gave me. There was a theme that Christmas. I guess he doesn't feel too threatened. But Dinner with Mr. Darcy. And I was looking through here to plan the recipes for the party. And I think what I'm going to do, I decided to go for something that just sounded really, exotic to me, because I just have never even seen it on a menu, I don't think. I mean, it's a term that I've heard or I've read about. And do you see that? It's salmagundi, which turns out to just be like a massive salad with all sorts of things in it: anchovies, roast chicken, duck, or pigeon meat, parsley, cucumber, apples, onion, hard-boiled eggs, pickled gherkins, celery, pickled red cabbage, French beans, grapes, any combination of the following: spinach, sorrel, nasturtium. Oh, we're not in that season. Watercress. So anyway, it's just a big main salad. And so I think I'll make that salmagundi. I mean, I might modify it a little bit. Like, instead of anchovies, I might put in something like salmon or something like that. And then the other thing that I wanted to have from this cookbook for dessert is syllabub, everlasting syllabub. I've heard of them eating syllabub. It's basically flavored whipped cream. Well, it's a thick cream, that really thick British cream. So I'm probably going to have to modify this recipe too, because it says 1 teaspoon natural orange flower water with no added alcohol. I don't know what that is. I'm not much of a baker or anything, but I think those are the two recipes I'm going to pull out of here. I think we're going to have, what are the things I was planning? So there's this pasty shop in our town, in the town that we're right outside of, where they make the authentic pasties from Cornwall. And it's got a whole British theme to it. It's just a little hole in the wall, but it's become pretty well known. And since I went gluten-free several years ago, I haven't eaten any of those, and I'm not going to. But I thought I would buy like a tray of a variety of those pasties, and that could be like the main thing, and then the salmagundi, and I might make some deviled eggs or something to go along with it. And then for dessert, we'll have the syllabub and gingerbread, which I might just buy, or I might make gluten-free gingerbread. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, apple tarts. I am not much of a baker. If I can get somebody else to bake them in the family, they can do that, or I might go out and just buy some from the bakery. So that's going to be the menu for the Febregency party. I'm really thinking of buying a Regency dress. But I think I would look silly in it, But anyway, we'll see how far I go with this. But those are my February plans. I think it's a lot that I have to read. Did I get everything? Yeah, I think I got everything, right? Hornblower, Long Winter. I don't know what will be the book for Faded Pages Book Club. So the weekend after Wordsworth, I'm reserving that for whatever that book is. And let's see, Evelina. And I think that discussion, I forgot to list the discussions. The Hornblower and Faded Pages are just Voxer groups. The Long Winter, they're actually having a discussion at 7 p.m., I guess, Eastern Time on the 11th, that Saturday. And then Evelina, which is the group read for the Febregency event, is on Saturday, February 25th. At what time? 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So those have events. And Historathon, I know, has a Voxer group and also a Discord page. So yeah. So all right, well, I'll list all the pertinent information below. So that's my February TBR, and I hope you're having fun reading in January and that you have great plans for February, and happy reading. Bye-bye.